1. Massachusetts trash strike, no deal after negotiations. 2. Bay Area trash crisis, residents struggle amid strike. 3. Teamsters Escalate strike against Republic Services, LA and Ohio hit hard. 1. Massachusetts trash strike, no deal after negotiations. The trash and recycling strike in Massachusetts shows no signs of ending, stretching across over a dozen towns for nearly 3 weeks now. After contentious negotiations on Friday, both Teamsters Local 25 and Republic Services expressed dissatisfaction. The union labeled it a wasted bargaining session, while Republic Services noted the meeting concluded prematurely. Without scheduling further talks, both parties left the table empty-handed. Since the initial walkout on January 19, residents in these towns have faced sporadic trash and recycling collection, leading to mounting frustrations. In Danvers, a dumpster overflowed and caught fire on Friday, underscoring the severity of the situation. Brittany Raisley, owner of Daily Harvest Cafe in Danvers, described the impact on her business. Our dumpster was so full, we couldn't fit any more trash in. It was piling up and falling over. This is my livelihood, and if I can't stay open, I can't pay my staff or bills. Public officials have weighed in on the ongoing dispute. Representative Catherine Clark expressed solidarity with the Teamsters, stating, "I'm proud to stand with them as they fight for better wages and benefits." Governor Maura Healey emphasized that this issue extends beyond mere inconvenience. It poses a public health risk and incurs significant costs for all parties involved. Mayors and town administrators from affected areas have criticized Republic Services for its inadequate service. 6 cities and towns have filed a lawsuit against the company at Salem Superior Court, arguing that Republic Services' failure to manage trash and recycling constitutes a public health hazard. Beverly Mayor Michael Cahill highlighted the company's lack of responsiveness, saying, "The CEO's silence speaks volumes about Republic Services' priorities." In response, Republic Services has filed a lawsuit against the Teamsters, alleging violent behavior, including slurs, tire slashing, and potential theft of a truck. The company seeks a temporary restraining order to halt what it calls illegal acts. Meanwhile, the union claims that non-union Republic workers are also considering joining the strike. Teamsters Local 25's President Tom Mari detailed the union's stance in a statement. Republic Services is engaging in surface-level bargaining without genuine intent to reach an agreement. We've offered substantial concessions, but they refuse to move on wages or benefits. Mari emphasized the union's willingness to return to work if a fair deal is reached, but stressed that the strike will continue until Republic Services agrees to reasonable terms. On the other hand, Republic Services maintains its commitment to resolving the dispute amicably. The company's statement reads, "We are dedicated to providing our employees with market-leading wages and benefits." However, the Teamsters leadership is prioritizing chaos and conflict over constructive dialogue. Republic Services has offered competitive wages, a zero-premium healthcare plan, and industry-leading retirement contributions, but the union has rejected these proposals, citing concerns about union solidarity, safety measures, and accountability. This standoff highlights the complexities of labor disputes and the high stakes involved. As both sides remain entrenched in their positions, the question remains, how long can Massachusetts afford this impasse? Will the courts intervene to broker a resolution, or will negotiations resume to find a mutually acceptable solution? Your thoughts on this matter are welcome in the comments below. 2. Bay Area trash crisis, residents struggle amid strike. Overflowing trash cans lining sidewalks, mounting piles of garbage in backyards, and increasingly frustrated residents, welcome to the latest crisis gripping Bay Area communities. But here's where it gets controversial. What's causing this mess isn't neglect or budget cuts, it's a growing strike by sanitation workers that's sparking fierce debate over workers' rights and basic city services. It's a scene that's impossible to ignore. In city after city, Fremont, Daly City, Antioch, Benicia, Fairfield, Martinez, Piedmont, Pleasant Hill, San Jose, and Union City, rows of black, green, and blue waste bins are packed beyond capacity, with refuse spilling onto the streets. For many, the impact is personal and immediate. "It's hitting all of us," shared Alex Hernandez, a Fremont local, in a recent interview. "We've started stashing trash in our backyard just to keep it under control." So what's behind these overflowing bins? The labor stoppage kicked off on July 1, when workers from Republic Services, a major waste management company, walked off the job in several Massachusetts cities, pushing for better pay and benefits through a fair contract. Since then, this movement has snowballed, with over 2,000 employees across the country joining in solidarity. According to the Teamsters Union, which represents these workers, the strike is now disrupting garbage pickup for millions nationwide. And this is the part most people miss. What started as a regional dispute has quickly turned into a national standoff with widespread consequences. Locally, the repercussions are growing. Workers in the Bay Area have staged walkouts in a staggered fashion, creating an unpredictable situation for residents who rely on regular trash removal. Republic Services, for its part, insists it's negotiating with the union and has even imported employees from other areas to prioritize garbage over recycling. Still, many neighbors say that help is either arriving too late or not at all in their communities. "It's mostly clutter at this point, no smell yet, thankfully," Hernandez noted, highlighting an important but often overlooked nuance. Not all immediate effects are visible, but the anxiety is building as trash collection stalls. For those in apartment complexes or shared housing arrangements, the strain is even more obvious. Terry Bartlett, another Fremont resident, describes the communal bins at his townhouse complex as overflowing, sometimes dramatically so. "People with their own houses have it way worse, though," he admits, but still hopes for a resolution before things take a dire turn. "If they could just pick it up soon, everything would be fine." When local reporters toured Fremont, nearly every house had trash cans set out, some with waste spilling onto yards and sidewalks. In certain areas, such as public parks, dumpsters have even been locked to prevent illegal dumping, a situation that paints a vivid picture of how interconnected neighborhoods are affected. But here's a twist: confusion about pickup schedules is adding to the problem. Bartlett recounted being told collection would resume, only to later hear differently, leaving many residents in limbo. "It's impossible to know when they'll come around," he said, echoing a frustration felt throughout the region. In the absence of regular pickup, some are hauling their trash to drop-off centers or local Republic Services facilities themselves. Weekend scenes in Richmond, Fremont, and Milpitas reveal lines of cars with trash bins jammed into truck beds and back seats. Even this workaround isn't without its own headaches. Union City resident Rita Haskin explained that, initially, she wasn't concerned, her trash rarely fills up. But when she tried to use local drop-off points, the plan hit a wall. After a while, the city shut down the drop-off areas because people started bringing things like old water heaters, much more than just regular trash. Despite mounting inconvenience, there's a surprising undercurrent of support for the striking workers. Most people never think twice about who handles their garbage until something like this happens, Haskin reflected. Bartlett went further, criticizing the waste companies. "They're just being cheap in my opinion. The workers deserve better." And yet, the controversy doesn't end there. Many drivers dropping off their trash offered honks and cheers to striking union members at the Richmond facility, shouting encouragement like "We need you," as they passed, a sign that resentment toward the disruptions is mixed with empathy for laborers' struggles. Victor Ramos, who works at a Safeway warehouse and belongs to Teamsters Local 439, has been making daily trips from Tracy to Richmond to support the strike. He passionately outlined the workers' grievances, mentioning low pay and threats to their benefits. "We feel for our neighbors, nobody wants anyone to suffer or be inconvenienced," Ramos insisted. "But we can't keep letting ourselves be taken advantage of. Is it right for communities to endure public health risks so that workers can push for basic fairness?" Jose Becerra, another union supporter on the picket line, offered a perspective that might surprise some. "These jobs are more dangerous than most people realize. Most folks don't want to handle what sanitation workers do every day. Maybe this situation will finally help the public see just how crucial their work really is." Republic Services maintains that it's been in talks with the Teamsters Union since October, and despite a recent marathon round of negotiations, no agreement has been reached. For now, there's no word on when discussions will resume. Ramos believes the answer is simple: pay people what they deserve and it all goes away. But here's where the debate heats up. He accuses company leadership of being out of touch. They're obsessed with profit and forget that it's hardworking people who keep society running. What about you? Should a community's everyday needs take priority, or do these strikes reveal a deeper, largely unrecognized system of inequality for essential workers? Is it fair to criticize the companies, or do the disruptions go too far? Leave your thoughts below, and don't hold back if you disagree. After all, this is an issue everyone has to live with, whether they like it or not. 3. Teamsters Escalate strike against Republic Services. LA and Ohio hit hard. Have you ever felt so strongly about an issue that you were willing to stand up and say, enough is enough? That's exactly what the striking Teamsters are doing against Republic Services, and the stakes are higher than you might think. But here's where it gets controversial. Millions of Americans are now caught in the crossfire of an escalating labor dispute that has spread to Los Angeles and Ohio. The Teamsters, a union representing over 1.3 million workers across North America, are taking a stand against Republic Services, one of the largest waste management companies in the country. The bold move has forced the company to halt operations in critical areas, impacting over 2 million residents in Los Angeles alone and causing a massive pileup of trash in Ohio. Imagine living in a city where trash collection has stopped, and you're surrounded by mountains of garbage. That's the reality for many Americans right now. But this isn't just about garbage. It's about the fundamental rights of workers. Teamsters General President Sean M. O'Brien expresses his frustration. It's shocking, and increasingly disgusting, how far Republic Services is willing to push its workforce. Our members are everyday Americans performing essential services across our communities, but Republic is unwilling to offer workers good wages, decent benefits, or a fair contract. And this is the part most people miss. Republic Services is not just a waste management company, it's a corporate giant with overpaid executives who prioritize profits over people. The greed of these executives is forcing thousands of hardworking waste collectors and haulers out into the streets, striking for their rights. But the Teamsters aren't just striking for better wages and benefits, they're fighting against illegal union-busting tactics and a refusal to bargain in good faith. This is a fight for the dignity of work itself. The question we should all be asking is it right for a company to put profits over people? Republic Services must come to its senses and end this strike with a fair offer for its workers. But if they don't, the strike will only spread, and the piles of garbage will grow. What do you think? Should companies be held accountable for the treatment of their workers? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments. Founded in 1903, the International Brotherhood of Teamsters represents hardworking individuals across the U.S., Canada, and Puerto Rico. For more information, visit teamster.org or follow them on social media.